Maddie Muschin. We are the Splash Live. We are giving you West Bloomfield news, exclusive interviews here live from our studio off of Walnut Lake Road in West Bloomfield. Come join us as we give you featured interviews, fun events that are going on in West Bloomfield, and stories that our field reporters gather throughout the week and bring to you live here on Civic Center TV. We are live from 9:30 until 10 a.m. Monday through Friday, and we are so excited to be bringing you this live information from our Civic Center studio here in West Bloomfield. We also will be giving you some of those featured events that we have here going on in our community, and those interviews from people that are making a difference here in our community and some of the things that make our West Bloomfield, Greater West Bloomfield community great. We're going to start off with our nomination code. This is for our Person of the Week, another fun event that we do here at the Splash Live. You can scan that QR code that's on your screen and nominate someone that you think is making a difference here in our Greater West Bloomfield community, whether they are an educator, whether it's a student, a principal, a teacher in your Greater West Bloomfield School District, as well as anyone in the business community or that are part of an organization that are doing something here in our community that you think that we should highlight here on the Splash Live for our Person of the Week. This is something that we'll be doing every week. We highlighted Heather Cruz yesterday. She's a Spanish teacher in West Bloomfield, and if you just scan that QR code, it'll take you to a Google form submission. You can just type in some of the information there and send that in to us, and we will highlight them for the Person of the Week. We also have some of our current events that are going on here in our Greater West Bloomfield community. So these are some holiday events, specifically as Thanksgiving has passed, and obviously the snow is here to stay. So we are headed into December, into the holiday season. We are going to be looking at some of the events that are going on here. Our first one is very time sensitive. Today is the last day to register for the Letters to Santa West Bloomfield Parks event. So you can write a letter to Santa, bring your letters to the event, and then get a picture with you and your family with Santa. The reason that you need to register by today is that they have certain time slots that you want to make sure work for you and your family, so you can go get your pictures with Santa. You can register on their website. That is for West Bloomfield Parks, and make sure you get a time slot that works for you and your family. It is $15 for residents of West Bloomfield and $17 for non-residents. So open to everyone, but you do get a little bit of a price break if you live here in West Bloomfield and go and support the West Bloomfield Parks. Our other event that we have is ongoing. It is the Soul Studio, the Farber Center Soul Studio that we featured here on the Splash Live before. This is our holiday market. They have jewelry, some mittens, art that you can go and purchase from their in-house artists that they have there. It's a great way to give back to the community, make sure you're supporting local and shopping small this holiday season. So make sure you go visit the Farber Center Soul Studio and go visit their holiday market. They also are doing customizable sneakers, so you can go in and get a pair of sneakers, customize a fun little personalized gift for your loved ones during this holiday season. And our next event that's ongoing is the Toys for Tots event. So this is for the West Bloomfield Fire Department. They're working with the Marine Corps to make sure that they are giving back to the Greater West Bloomfield community, and you can donate toys. They have a list of toys that you can go and look up. We also have a list here of gifts either for infants, for toddlers, for a couple of the teens that they will be giving back to. They want to make sure that they have a wide variety of those gifts that you can give back, and you can go donate those gifts, drop them off, purchase them. If you have shopped already for your holiday gifts, you can go give a check, but you can drop those gifts or a check off at any of the fire departments here in West Bloomfield. And these are going to be drop-off times during their regular business hours. And if you have any questions, you can call them and talk to one of our firefighters in West Bloomfield and ask any questions that you may have. And if you do have questions and are quite unsure of what to go and give, you can always write a check and make it out to the Marine Corps and the West Bloomfield Fire Department. And then our last event here that we want to highlight is the Soul Studio also has that Cultivating Ties exhibition there, and if you have already done your holiday shopping and don't really want to go to their holiday market, they also have the exhibition that you can go and visit. This is an exhibition from a local artist in West Bloomfield, and you can go and see that. It's a beautiful exhibition that they have there at the Farber Center, and they can go and browse that. You can ask any questions about the exhibition. They have a bunch of panels that kind of go through what the exhibition means. It is to show pretty much through diversity and all of the differences that we have here in the greater West Bloomfield community, we are stronger together, therefore cultivating ties in our West Bloomfield community. And if you have an event that you want us to show here on the Splash Live, you can always call us here at Civic Center TV, or you can message us on any of our social media. And so it's Civic Center TV for our Instagram, our Twitter, and then Civic Center TV for our Facebook. And we are so excited to have Curt Lawson here from the West Bloomfield Police Department to talk about their new Text 911 service that they have here in West Bloomfield. Curt, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So let's go through, this is a very new thing, obviously. You know, calling 911 is something that every child learns from their very young age in school, something that's very important for the health and safety of the greater West Bloomfield community. But now you can text. Will you go through a little bit of the process of that?
Well, like you just said, Text to 911 service is now available in West Bloomfield. It's actually called Texty, so it's kind of a cool name. And as you know, in this day and age, most everyone has cell phones. Everyone's always texting. So really, you have to be a part of that technology. As a public safety entity, we still prefer that people voice to 911, but this is a great option for those that might be deaf, hearing impaired, or speech disabled, or maybe they're in a circumstance where there's actually a home invasion in your house, or you're a victim of domestic violence, you're witnessing a crime, and you don't want to speak. So this is a great option for our community to text to our dispatchers. So we're really excited about it.
And then will you just walk us through the steps to this? So do you need to download an app? Is it just through the regular text messenger that you have on your phone, whether you have a smartphone or a flip phone? And will you just walk through the steps of how that process goes down?
Well, what we found is with technology, and I'm sure you'll agree, is that easier is better for everyone. And so all you have to do is go on your SMS, which is your text on your phone, and dial 911. And immediately you're going to get a live dispatcher texting back to you, asking your location, what's going on, and you're getting that communication process with a dispatcher right here in West Bloomfield.
And then what is the benefit to having something like this? You mentioned obviously that if there was some sort of home invasion or someone that doesn't necessarily want to or can't talk on the phone, but what does the broader aspect of this and the benefit to the West Bloomfield community being able to have something at their fingertips?
Well, I think it's just another tool in our toolbox. It's another tool for the community to use to get in touch with their emergency service providers. And like I said earlier, individuals that have some impairments, whether they're deaf, hearing impaired, or speech disabled, they're able to communicate with us very effectively, and we can get them the help that they need right away.
And then as we go into the holiday season, obviously health and safety is one of our main concerns and top priority here in the greater West Bloomfield community. Can you give us any sort of tips or advice headed into the holiday season, especially with snow on the ground? Very slippery on the roads this morning.
Well, certainly what we've seen since COVID is people driving a little bit too fast. We've seen a lot of that up and down Orchard Lake, the Haggerty corridor. But one of the things I'll tell you we see a lot of during the holiday season is we see a lot of scams. People are always trying to take advantage of other people. If anyone calls you or shows up at your door or sends you a letter and they're requesting gift cards or personal information like social security numbers, driver's license numbers, absolutely do not provide that information. No one from the federal government, state government is going to contact you and ask for your personal information over the phone. So if in doubt, please give us a call at the West Bloomfield Police Department or your local law enforcement agency, and we'll be more than glad to come out and check it out and make sure that you're safe and not taken advantage of.
And then as we head into the colder weather as well, do you have any tips for keeping your household up to date and, with an alarm system or something like that? Do you have any tips for the homeowners of the greater West Bloomfield community to kind of make sure that your home is safe this holiday season?
Well, we always encourage our residents to have an alarm system. Cameras these days are super cheap. You can go to Costco or Walmart and get a very cheap camera system that will record around your residence, your front and your back door. And that technology is so important to us when we do investigations. If someone were to break into your home or break into your car, those videos are a game changer for us. And we would definitely recommend investing in that technology.
And then if someone does come into contact with a crime or is in danger, what are some of the informational pieces that maybe a younger child or someone that has never contacted 911 before should know to give the dispatcher so they can get there very promptly to the scene?
Sure. Well, first, if you're a witness to a crime, make sure that you're safe. Make yourself safe first. And then you just, like you said, you want to be a really good witness. You want to call 911 or text 911, let them know your location, what is going on, speak calmly and clearly, and just provide as much information as you can to the 911 dispatcher, and officers or the fire department will be on their way to help you.
And then with the holiday season obviously coming up, is the fire department or the police department doing anything? I know the fire department obviously is doing the Toys for Tots drive with the Marine Corps, but do you guys have any fun holiday events going on with the police department?
Well, I know that the West Bloomfield Police Foundation is a very active foundation within the community. They've been on the news several times for all the great things that they do in the greater West Bloomfield area. And every year they help a family, and I'm sure this year will not be any different. I'm no longer on the foundation. I used to be president, but we have a great team, a bunch of young officers and civilian staff that are running the foundation, and they're going to do some great things this holiday season. So we'll have to circle back and do a story on what they've done.
Yes, of course. We always love to check in with our local heroes, the police department and the fire department. Obviously, we went and talked about the baseball game that we had this past fall. Very fun, but something a little more serious.
Remind everyone how badly that we beat the fire department.
Yes. The police department squashed the fire department there. And then a little bit more serious note, and then we'll let you go. For carbon monoxide detectors, people changing their batteries, obviously they say with daylight savings, that's the time to be changing those batteries. Are there any types of advice for people to make sure that those are working in the house?
Well, I know that kind of advice is probably best for the fire department to give, but I know that a lot of residents that we go into, there's not carbon monoxide alarms, and I think that's very important. You never know if you're going to have some sort of leak in the furnace, so make sure you get that checked every year. But I would defer to the fire department, who are the real experts in that category.
We'll have to get Chief Greg Flynn on to talk about that. But thank you so much for joining us, Curt.
You're welcome. Thanks so much.
Once again, we are joined by Curt Lawson, the police department, West Bloomfield Police Department chief here in West Bloomfield, giving us some great advice here for the holiday season and making sure that we are safe. And again, with that text 911, something that is so important for our greater West Bloomfield community to have, something that's easy, as Curt Lawson said, if you are unable to speak, if there was a home invasion, or if you are a victim of domestic violence here in our community. Very easy, just to text 911 on your SMS, and you will get live contact with a West Bloomfield Police Department dispatcher. And if you just text them your details of what is going on, what emergency you are in, that is something that is so important here, especially headed into the holiday season, as Curt said, with the drivers in the roads, with the snowy conditions, and making sure that our West Bloomfield community is safe during this holiday season. A great thing that we have here, a great feature that the police department is bringing here to our West Bloomfield community. Don't go anywhere, because after this break, we're going to be checking in with Sheiko Elementary. We asked them what their favorite things about the holiday season is, their plans for the holiday season, and then what their favorite thing about being back in school at Sheiko Elementary is.
Don't go away. You're watching The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Teens a day die from texting and driving. Don't text and drive.
Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer. Because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine to keep safe and strong. Be like happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
Boy, oh boy, it's pretty chilly outside. Calvin Brown here with Civic Center TV. Today, we're visiting Sheiko Elementary once again to ask the kids inside there what their least favorite chore is. I know what mine is. It's cleaning the toilet.
My least favorite chore is to clean my room. Do the dishes.
Taking out the garbage. Washing the dishes.
I don't like vacuuming or dusting.
Dishwasher. Clean my room, probably.
Washing the dishes.
The wheels on that bus sure do go round and round. That's probably these children's favorite song that they've ever heard ever. Probably not. Why don't we ask them? Hey kids, what's your favorite song?
My favorite song is probably In the Middle. My favorite song is Yesterday from the Beatles.
Face Off.
In school, I like the Star Spangled Banner. I think it's like Dance Monkey. Despacito.
First would be probably Believer. Legends Are Made is second. How Legends Are Made. And
The Sonic song.
We also asked these kids why they love being in school, what their favorite reason to come back to Sheiko Elementary is.
PE.
Meeting all my friends again.
I get to play with my friends. It's so much fun. You get to learn. There's so many games and holidays that we get to celebrate.
Speaking of holidays, what's your favorite holiday tradition, kids?
On Christmas, I go over to my friend's house, and I go over to my grandma's house, and then I open my gifts.
Mostly have fun.
We just hang out, but it's fun.
We get to have presents, and we get to see what we get, and we can get the thing we want. The Fall Festival and Christmas. Spending time with my family at my grandma and grandpa's house.
I probably go to my cousin's house and we play, and then after that, my aunt, she makes a giant meal for all of us, and we all sing Thanksgiving songs, and we pray to God.
Well, once again, thank you to the kids over here at Sheiko Elementary School, right next to Green Media Center, for giving us some great content on testing the waters.
It's peaceful, it's quiet, and the noise and stress of life can sometimes disappear.
It's the Great Lakes water, and so what people do ends up in our waterways.
It's for our health and safety, it's for our economy, it's for protecting the environment that we all enjoy and we all need to survive.
So clearing storm drains and the areas nearby of trash and leaves helps keep them for rain only.
We're all about one water in this region. We're all connected. We all have a role.
And now, back to The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Welcome back to The Splash Live. I'm your host, Maddie Muschen. We are so excited today to be joined by the fitness director at the Sports Club of West Bloomfield, Eileen Cruz. She is making sure that all those members of our greater West Bloomfield community who go to the sports club are staying healthy this holiday season after Thanksgiving, as we've had some fun celebrations and as we head into December. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Eileen.
It is my pleasure. Hello, Maddie.
So tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into fitness and what kind of inspired you to get into that.
Well, I go back quite a ways. I got into the whole aerobic craze back in the mid-'80s, doing the Jane Fonda workout and, all of the stereotypical wearing the leg warmers and doing the aerobic classes. And it was a lot of fun. And it morphed itself into being asked to teach. And I started teaching various places in the area, Farmington Hills, Novi, West Bloomfield, and one thing led to another. And I wound up at the sports club in 1992. And I had already had a personal training business, and I brought everything here. I started doing my aerobics here, and then I did all my personal training here.
And then as a fitness director, you kind of oversee every aspect of fitness that goes on at the sports club. Will you tell us about the different types of amenities that you guys have there? I know you guys have sports as well, but specifically with the fitness there at the sports club.
So when you're a member, as far as the fitness part of the membership is concerned, you get two schedules, essentially. You get a yoga schedule, and then you get a group exercise schedule. The yoga schedule is exactly what it sounds like, all different formats of yoga. And then the group exercise schedule, you get what you would imagine your group fitness classes would look like. So that's anything from body conditioning to Zumba to low impact to step and spinning too. Don't want to forget about spinning, indoor cycling. So that all comes with your fitness membership. Then we have what we call a floor of cardio with every type of cardio machine you can imagine. And they each have their own TV that even comes with Netflix, if you can remember your password and your username. So there are no excuses. And then we have a full weight room. And that's everything from plate loaded and dumbbells for the guys who like to lift heavy. And we've had this whole apparatus that we call a Queen X. It's a little bit of an odd name, but it's all functional fitness. That's where we hang our TRXs and throw our medicine balls around, that type of thing. It pretty much covers everything. We have Pilates reformer. We have a few Pilates reformer instructors. Then, of course, big part of our club is the tennis. And right now, the pickleball is off the charts. Do not have enough courts for pickleball. We could add many more courts for pickleball and they will be full. It's I'm not quite sure what all the excitement is. I have to take a lesson, I guess. To me, it looks like standing ping pong. All the pickleballers are probably raising their eyebrows right now, but that's what it looks like to me as a non-pickleball player. But people are crazy about it, and it's a very social activity, very social.
Yes, and all of those tennis, pickleball sports, and all of the fitness amenities there, you can go, and it's all covered, correct?
Correct, yes, yeah.
So all indoors, something you can go and experience while it's snowing on the ground here. And with the holiday season coming up, do you have any tips or advice that maybe you give to people at the sports club or anyone that is looking to get more fit this holiday season?
Well, to get more fit the holiday season, expectations might be a little high there. I really like to consider myself a realistic type trainer. I think that during the holiday season, you want to maintain your fitness. I think the most important thing is to keep your routine. Try not to skip your workouts. Put them in your schedule. Do a little bit more if you know you're going to splurge a little bit, and that doesn't have to be anything out of the ordinary. Maybe just walk a couple more times a week, get that weight workout in maybe a couple more times a week. I would say definitely watch the sweets. Alcohol, I think some people realize how many calories are in alcohol, but it can really sneak up on you. You know, a few glasses of wine can really throw you off your regimen. So I think maintaining, in my book, is the big thing over the holidays. And then once they're over, you can take this huge sigh of relief, get all the leftovers out of your refrigerator, and then be done with it.
Some great advice for those people to maintain, and I think it's a great tip. You know, people go into New Year's and they make all these New Year's resolutions, but really if you can just walk a couple times or just maintain those fitness goals that you already have intact. Do you have any tips for people that are maybe looking to incorporate fitness into their New Year's resolutions this year?
My tip would be sit down with your schedule and look at every day and figure out where you can carve out an hour for yourself and stick to it. And that means, where are you going to get your cardio in? If you want to do weights a couple times a week, that's what you're going to do in that hour. I really love yoga. I know that cardio, weights, and yoga can seem like an awful lot to fit in, but you got to schedule it. And the cardio it can be 40 minutes of a walk. It doesn't have to be an hour of cardio. As a matter of fact, the newest studies show that anything over 30 minutes is really just increasing your risk of injury. The key is to make it intense enough that you're definitely breathing slightly heavier and maybe working up a little bit of a perspiration, like that. And I would say that's the biggest thing, is to have it in your schedule. And that's it. Stick to it. Don't let anything get in the way. Do not let anything get in the way. Somebody says, can you talk at this time of day? You have to say, no, I'm very sorry. I am working out at that time. Can we find another time to talk,
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning, Eileen.
You are very welcome. Thank you.
Once again, we are joined by Eileen Cruz. She is the fitness director at the Sports Club of West Bloomfield. That is just down the road here from our studios at Civic Center TV. And if you are looking to get more fit this holiday season, to maintain those goals, or looking to put some fitness into your New Year's resolutions as we're coming up on December, make sure you go check out the Sports Club of West Bloomfield, and you can call them and get that membership locked and loaded for the holiday season. And right before we go, we want to make sure that we get our QR code up for the Person of the Week. Make sure you get those nominations, and you can scan this QR code and fill out the Google form. For anyone that you feel like in our greater West Bloomfield community is making a difference, whether that is a student, an educator, someone that you know from a local business or organization that is making a difference in the greater West Bloomfield community, that is Orchard Lake, Sylvan Lake, Keego Harbor, and West Bloomfield. So go ahead, scan that QR code and get those nominations in, and we will feature them weekly on our Person of the Week. Thank you so much for joining us this morning on the Splash Live. We are going to be here daily from Monday through Friday, making sure that you get the West Bloomfield, the greater West Bloomfield news and events for our friends in Sylvan Lake, Orchard Lake, Keego Harbor, and West Bloomfield. I'm your host, Maddie Mustian. Thanks for joining us on The Splash.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us.